And oh yeah, we're about to watch a cool ass movie. Or no, I'm gonna watch this David Cross shit movie. Stand up. Watch party. Here we are. And away we go. Come on, stay with me here. Playback error. What the fuck does that mean? Are you fucking kidding me?
So I was on the internet the other day, just digging around, whatever, and I saw this story that said AIDS was started by a monkey, and I hope it wasn't Michael Nesmith, because he's really the most talented one. He wrote all the songs. When we think fondly of the Monkees catalog, it's too late. First joke was too soon. Second one was too late. So I think I speak for everyone in this room here tonight when I say that I recently had a baby, and and you're right not to applaud. You are. You are right not to applaud. I'm not being facetious. It's. I don't know why people applaud that. It happens roughly half the shows. People applaud, and it's always bothered me. Even before I had a kid, that just, you know, yeah. So I had a kid. Yay! I haven't done anything applause worthy yet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I barely had anything to do with it in the first place. My wife had an affair. I mean, look, come back and find me in 18 years, and if I produced a decent, kind, ethical, moral, charitable, contributing member to society, then I will gladly accept your applause. But it's a little early to tell. Is what I'm. I mean, she could turn out to be a cunt. You know, she could. She could. It happens all the time. It fucking happens all the time, and you know it. Well-intended, well-meaning parents do the right thing, and yet they raise asshole fucking children. Their children are fucking shitty pieces of shitty asshole shit. And it happens, it happens. And I mean, obviously, my wife and I we're not going to intentionally raise a TSA agent, but we could put in all the work, and she still ends up being like kind of half Ann Coulter, half girl who killed her friend because of Slender Man. You don't know. You don't know. You can throw as many future feminist onesies on an infant. Doesn't mean shit. She doesn't know what it means. It doesn't work through osmosis, When I was growing up, my dad had a coffee mug that said "World's Greatest Dad" on it. And he was a lying asshole piece of shit. He was a piece of shit. So what I'm saying is those onesies and mugs will just fly straight to your face. They don't care. I blame the Chinese, really. But, I am a first-time father, long-time listener, and just to allay any fears, I'm not going to do an hour of dad jokes, all right? I'm not just sometimes people. Yes, exactly. You can feel the tension in the room right about that point. Where like, wait, he's not going to talk about having a kid for an hour, is he? And I'm not going to do that to you. One, it's boring, and two, it would make me quite a hypocrite, based on a lot of the material I've done in the past. So, but it has been my world for the last year. I mean, it's a wholly unique experience to me. So of course I've made some observations and thought of some funny things, and I'll share those, and hopefully won't have to have had a kid to get them and appreciate the jokes. And I'm certainly not going to tell you, how amazing she is or anything like that. But she is precocious. I will say that. She is precocious. She's 54 weeks old. But if you see her, you'd be like, well, what is she, 62 weeks old? Like, no, actually, no. She's actually, I know. Thank you, though. Thank you. No, I know. She's very mature for her age. Yes, she carries herself with or I carry her, but, she exudes the kind of maturity you don't often associate with 54 weeks. But, it is a fascinating thing to be a part of, to watch the evolution of this thing. Because when they're born, there's nothing. There's no communication. It's nothing. It's a blob. It's not, but then over time, it starts to evolve. It starts to become a person, and personality traits start to exhibit themselves. And it's really fascinating. And I'm really looking forward to that big shift, that happens, that big change where you finally start to love them. And that's... Well, hurry up with that part, please. When is it going to be worth it in any way, shape, or form? Please. But I am excited to meet her. I think that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. I'm doing that thing. It's a very Brooklyn thing where you don't meet your kid for the first 7 years, You keep them pure. You keep them away. So she's in a yurt in a bubble underwater, and we'll be there for 7 years. And this way, I can't taint her with any of my straight, white, hetero, cis, normative maleness things. And I've also decided that I'm not going to teach her to use pronouns when referring to people. Yes, no he's or she's, but everybody will be they, And not necessarily so that she'll be progressive about sexual and gender identity, but so that she'll fail English. So, oh, she said her first word the other day. That's pretty cool. That's a milestone that you can't help but be proud of. She said Pyongyang, which is pretty cool. Up on current events. No, she doesn't talk, but she does that kind of monosyllabic noises, a lot of just sort of like pa, pa, ta, ta, ka, ta, sha, pa, ka, ka, that kind of thing, which is really kind of cute and endearing most of the time, but really quite the opposite early in the morning when she first wakes up and it's like 6:30 in the morning and I'm completely out of it and I got to change her diaper and then I got to go downstairs and get the mug out of the thing and fill it with water and put it in the microwave and get the thing, because I'm holding her with my left arm and her mouth is right here. It's literally right here. Her mouth is right here and I'm doing all this stuff and getting the milk ready and getting my dog's medicines and food together and doing all this stuff and it's dark and I'm just groggy and out of it and and I'm doing this by myself. I'm there by myself because my wife is off in LA or San Francisco or Chicago or somewhere, smashing the patriarchy. And the irony is not lost on me. It's not lost on what is currently taking place. And anyway, so I'm getting all that stuff together, and as I said, it's dark, and the whole time I'm doing that, she's sitting there in my ear just going, and it's like I've got my own personalized 80s horror movie soundtrack playing. Like, stop it. Don't do that. You're creeping me out. Stop it. I'm serious. I've got to put her down. I can't put her on the floor. So, I undo the oven door and set her on that. And it's fine. Yeah. If nothing else, it allows her to get a little closer to the history of her peoples. And her great-grandfather built ovens. For the Nazis. Now, here's the thing. He got out, Asheville. He got out, you judgmental fuck. So, no, seriously. But we have to, her 1 year physical is coming up. We have to take her for a 1 year physical, which every one of my friends with kids, which is a lot of them, have all said the same thing. And I know if you have kids, you know what I'm about to say. Just like, oh my God, it's so hard to watch them go through that. It's really difficult. It's awful, because there's all these needles, because there's vaccinations, they have to draw blood, all this shit happens. Oh my God, it's so terrible to watch them go through that. It's awful. And so what I've been doing with that in mind, what I've been doing is slowly introducing her to pain. Yeah. But I'm having a clown do it, so it's fun, Yeah. And so we are taking her in for a 1 year physical, which means obviously my wife and I have had the big discussion, and we have decided to let her live. And I'm going to drill that into her head. I'm going to tell her that repeatedly. Every day, I'm going to make sure she knows that. Because when she's like 5 years old and she's having a tantrum, I want her to be able to repeat that out loud in a public place so that she knows it, and we're at the airport and we got to get on the flight and she's having a tantrum. Like, hey, stop it. Hey, what did Daddy tell you? You let me live? Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Not like the others? Yeah.
Autocrat said use iPhone by editing for others.
Now come on, we gotta get on the plane. Come on.
Autocrat said got 1,200 till now. Autocrat said face with big bleeding eyes.
Let's go.
Autocrat said need 32x more.
I truly believe that a kid is never too young to learn about abortion. No reason not to tell them. No reason. I do believe this, though.
Autocrat said Jews are Ifa.
I truly think that having a kid is one of the most narcissistic things a person can do. I believe that. I do believe that. I don't think it's...
Autocrat said you want any edit?
People have. I think it's...
Autocrat said logo or video.
The back of everyone's head.
Autocrat said like? Autocrat said Instagram.com.
I like me. I think there should be more of me in the world. Look at that shitty lady with her shitty kids. I gotta balance this out. And I know there's a lot of different reasons people say they want to have kids. I want unconditional love, and I want a buddy, and where I'm from in the South, I think people have kids for practical reasons. They can sort of look ahead into the future and pragmatically, realize, well, this emphysema ain't going to cure itself. My diabetes is getting pretty bad, and pretty soon I'm going to outfat this rascal I'm sitting on. And I'm going to outfat it. I'm going to have to get into the bed for the rest of my days. And, hell, I'm going to need somebody to go down to the liquor store and get my Pall Mall unfiltered, so I best get to fucking. Sure. Asheville, you must know what I'm talking about. Surely you know what I'm talking about. And I believe that, at least relatively, I'm a good, decent person with good values and good morals, and my wife is as well, and I want to instill those lessons and values into my daughter and teach her what I think. But I also know that I am cynical, I'm jaded, I'm skeptical, I'm an atheist prone to bouts of depression. I have a jaundiced worldview, because I use my eyeballs and my ears. And, and I just know what I know, but I want to tell these things to my daughter, but I can't just tell her all the things that I believe and I know, because, that's borderline child abuse. You can't say that to a little kid. I'm not going to be able to sit her down when she's like 4 years old and go, all right, honey, come on, let's go get something to eat, and then we'll go to the playground and we'll go on the swings. And you know what? You're 4 years old. I think you're old enough to know this. Honey, you were born to a deeply and shamefully racist country, acquired through genocide and built by slave labor. Its apocryphal history, a crumbling muddle of lies and deceits. And sweetheart, this profoundly shallow society you are now a part of is fueled by crass consumerism and narcissism and petty tribalism, and it worships money and status and places the appearance of being right above basic human dignity. And Peanut, your leaders are duplicitous hypocrites who cynically use religion and nationalism to easily manipulate ignorant and fearful. Here comes the airplane. That shit's not up for debate, but I can't just tell her that stuff. But there are things I want her to know that I think are important for her to know as she tries to navigate her way through this awful, awful world we're giving her. And there are certain things I think would be helpful for her. So what I do is, at night, when she's sleeping, I quietly go into her bedroom and I click on the little white noise machine that replicates the sound of the human heart, and then I tell her these things. I whisper to her. Marlo, there is no God. Bernie would have won. Sometimes feminists can be their own worst enemies. Things are important that will be helpful for her as she goes through this life, especially if she's going to be raised in part by my wife and I. But my wife is a staunch, very vocal feminist, meaning she won't shut the fuck up about it. And she's an amazing woman doing amazing work. and she's really incredible. And we're different people, basically. And we had very different upbringings, and she comes from a loving family. So, and I had a pretty shitty childhood in Roswell, Georgia, and she's from Santa Monica, born and raised Santa Monica, California, and I which I can't stand. I don't like Santa Monica. I have a general dislike for LA, but if I had a laser focus on a place, it's fucking Santa Monica that I hate. I can deal with the rest of LA. Santa Monica fucking bugs me, and it drives me up a wall because it's got all this faux progressive bullshit. They act like they're so progressive and liberal and advanced, and they're not. They're not progressive. They act like they're so diverse. They're not diverse. Santa Monica? No. The most diversity you'll see in Santa Monica is the lettuce selection at the Whole Foods salad bar. That's it. It's just varying degrees of pale to tan. That's how diverse it gets over there. And then mixed with that is this weird aggro bullshit beach vibe that everybody, Venice and Santa Monica has, where it's like, you walk into the coffee place and there's always some like sunbird dude in a Sarapa and a three-legged pit bull playing, Coldplay on a ukulele, and you truly can't tell if he's homeless or a .com millionaire. You have no fucking clue. You don't know. You don't know. And you're walking by and the guy's like, hey bro, why don't you smile? Don't cost nothing. Like, fuck you, and that dumb hippie bullshit. Oh. And that's like your experience 60% of your waking hours at Santa Monica and Venice. And I remember being a kid, being a young boy in Roswell and going home from school, cutting through the woods to go to the apartment complex I lived in and getting jumped and beat up by some kids and, yelling anti-Semitic shit. And I remember laying on the ground, getting beat up and thinking, well, at least I'm not in Santa Monica. So, even as a child, one thing that my wife, for years, tried to get us to do, for years, was to go for a couples colonic. Yeah. And I was pretty naive and ignorant as to exactly what took place during a couples colonic, but I knew enough to say, fuck no. No thank you. That does not sound good at all. And she just insisted, and it was a war of attrition, and after years she wore me down. I finally said, yes, all right, fine, we'll go. And in her defense, she was saying like, oh, it'll be fun. It'll be funny. You'll get a bit out of it. But here's the thing, Asheville. She truly thought that at this couples colonic, she really believed this, that we were going to be in a room, together on a bed, holding each other's hands, looking each other in the eyes. Honey, I love you so much. That's what she thought was going to happen. And I want that image, allow that image to occasionally pop into your head as I tell you what happened, what I went through, the trauma and the pain that I went through during this colonic. Because I am going to tell you exactly what happened in great detail. And I want that image to pop in your head occasionally. So, fucking relent. Okay, we're gonna go, and she makes an appointment for us, and it's about 6-7 blocks away from her apartment. It's a place called the Gentle Wellness Center. Gentle Wellness. And you go in, it's very soft, it's respectful. There's like low lighting, like amber lighting, and it's very quiet. There's like an old woman behind the desk, and she's got really long hair, too long. The hair is too long. It's just cut that much off, please. What? No, it's making everyone nervous. No one needs hair this long. It's for safety's sake, man. Please just cut this one. And then it's, a bourbon book and the bottom side drinking, and then a CD is playing soft in the background. It's nature sounds, just, chimes. Ding, 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 a wolf howl. Vaguely Native American sounds like but all at once, and I can't do it all at once. I'm not Michael Winslow, but you get the idea. Get the idea. So that's playing, and then so we go and we get our forms and fill them out, whatever, and turn them in, and then after a minute or two, this tall, very severe-looking, kind of Germanic woman comes out, really stern. She comes out and she goes, "I'm a Tamblin." And then next to her is a very short Vietnamese woman who says, "David Cow?" And so we walk up and we go our separate ways. My wife gets taken down the hallway this way, I get taken down there, and so I'm like, I knew it! I knew this was only a couples thing, I knew we were going to lay there, and, minor victory, tiny victory, and then it turns out to be an extremely minor victory, because my laughter starts receding as I'm like, I knew it! Wait, what's happening? Where am I going? What's going to happen to me? Where am I? What's this room? And I get taken by the Vietnamese lady to this small room, and she has me go in, and she has me change in the bathroom. So I change out of my clothes. And basically, it's a hospital gown you put on, a thing that's open down the back. And I get out of the bathroom, and it's a tiny room. It looks like a massage room. So there's basically just the table. Next to the table is a stool. And at the foot of this, it's not a table, it's a bed, whatever. And at the foot of the bed is this crystal clear, pristine, spotless, acrylic, rectangular box, right? Like this deep. It's against the wall, and on the back of it, it's all one solid white, soft white light. It's backlit by this white light, right? Inside of the acrylic rectangle, also spotless, a continuous, unbroken, crystal clear glass tube. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed. And then it ends a little drain in the floor. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Looks like modern art. It could be modern art. Some rich assholes. No pun. Emanating from the top of the rectangular box, sealed off, is a hose, and this goes into the tube, is a rubber hose, comes out, coils around on the floor, ends on the bed. At the end of the tube is roughly about a 7-8 inch plastic phallus with a hole at the end. So I come out of the room. She has me get on the bed, and she's on the stool, so her head's right here, and she's holding the phallus end of the hose, and she's just holding it like this, and I don't. She's not gesturing with it. She's just holding it expectantly, and I'm like, I don't. No, that's not it. That's not it. I know that's not it. I don't know what she wants me to do. She must think I've done this before. I've never done this before. Am I supposed to sign off on it? Just like, oh yeah, that's a McJohnson 740. That's the brand I use. That's good. Clearly a reputable colonic house. I'm glad my wife made the appointment here. I don't know what she's doing, and her English isn't very good at all, and my Vietnamese is not that much better, and so finally I figured out after a couple seconds, like, oh, she's giving this to me. I'm like, oh, you want oh, you want me to put it, and of course that makes sense. Like, okay, okay, I understand. So I take it from her, and she rolls me on my left side, and she lifts up my leg like this, and then she turns her back to me, which I take as my cue, and then I spend the next couple minutes just. And then finally I get it in. After what feels like 5 minutes, I finally get it in there. And also, apologies to whoever's using this mic again. I don't know who's here tomorrow, or is it Cosmic Charlie? It is. Cosmic Charlie is here next. They're a Grateful Dead cover band. I just love the idea of soundcheck. Actually, why would a Grateful Dead cover band ever need to soundcheck? Isn't the whole fucking show a soundcheck? It's just think, 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 think. Honey in the haystack, feeling good. The sunset. I do love the idea, though, that there'd be a band doing sound check. You know, like, all right, guys, you ready? All right, Alibaba, is that enough? Do you have your shoes off enough? All right, you good? All right. Tater, you got your nose harmonica? All right, ready to go? Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Hey, banker man, don't tell me when I can withdraw my money. Wait, hold up. Stop. Was David Cross here? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So I got it in there, right? Okay, so I get, after a couple minutes, get it in, and I say to the woman that, I go, okay, I got it in. And she turns and looks at me and she goes, like, really? Okay, I got it. Okay. And so I go to do it again, get it in there, and I'll spare you that. I won't do that all again. But it was, and she was right. I definitely, when I went to get it in there the second time, I clearly did not have it in there enough satisfactorily. It would have made a terrible mess. It would have been awful. It was, so I spent another couple minutes and just, get it in there. Okay, yes, I got it. And I tell her, okay, we got it. And then she turns back to me and again, really? I don't... Okay, and then she says, do you want I to do it? And I was like, oh yeah, sorry, I guess I don't know. And I did not get to the y sound of the word yeah before she had just dipped it in lube and shoved it in my ass! Oh my god! Lady, what the fuck is... How can you do that? Who does such a thing? You're awful! Gentle! Wellness! Gentle! It says it on there, gentle! And, I mean, she just flew, and I just immediately start sweating and tearing up and shaking. I'm shaking. It's, and ladies, I get it. And I apologize. On behalf of myself, on behalf of every man in this room, I apologize. I completely understand the urgency of the wrong hole. I get it. I will not be going near there without a consent form, signed in triplicate, notarized. There'll be a countdown clock. I get it. I understand. I truly understand. I get it. It's jarring. And so she rolls me back on my back now, back on my back, and this thing is shoved way the fuck up me, and I'm looking at it coming from my legs and my hospital gown, and I'm laying there just furious, okay? Just angry. Like, what the fuck? What is happening? And she starts to explain how the process is going to work. She goes, I will turn the nozzle. She's going to turn the nozzle, and then I will start to fill with water. And then when I feel pressure, I say release. She releases and reverses. Okay. And so she turned the nozzle, and I slowly start to fill with warm water, which is, no joke, truly a very pleasant experience. It was very nice. It really is. It's hard to put into words, but it's a comforting feeling. It feels good. And I like to be peed in. You know, that's my thing. I like to be peed in. I like to, a guy to fuck me up the ass, and then there's another guy who's semi-hard next to him, and he's got to take a piss, and then this guy pulls out, and then he goes in and he pees in me. And, it's called the San Francisco Gold Rush, and it is an American classic. So anyway, I'm starting to fill up with water. I'm laying there. She's right here. Her head is right here, sitting on the stool, and the silence is just deafening. It's so awkward. It's so weird. I feel very uncomfortable, and I want to say something. I'm also feeling oddly guilty. It's just a strange thing, and I'm trying to think of something to say, anything that's conversational, because this is going to go on for 40 fucking minutes. So I'm just sitting there like, when? How do you like Santa Monica? And I finally say something. I finally say something, and she starts to very slowly in broken English answer. And as soon as she starts to answer, and I cannot underscore this enough, there was nothing gradual about it. It was 0 to 60. It was instantaneous. She's like, release, screaming, release! And the pressure was insane. It felt like I was going to rip apart, and that the fucking alien baby was in there waterboarding me, and I'm screaming, release! And she undoes it, and I'm screaming, and I'm sweating and crying, and she's doing this, and then she compliments me on my release. She did. I swear to God, she said, very nice release, Mr. Kraut. And it's all, it's coming out and going down the tubes, and it's like you're giving birth. And she says, do you want to see? And I'm like, sure, okay. And she lifts my head on the pillow, and I'm like looking at this like, oh, my babies, my shit babies. Oh, be free, my shit babies. You go to a better place. And so that happens repeatedly for like the next 40 minutes. And then it's over. She leaves. She says I can go change and go back out. And I go to the bathroom and I change into my clothes. And I walk out of the bathroom and walk out of the room. And I walk down the hallway like this. And I'm walking down the hallway like this because it feels like I'm shitting. Not like, oh, I think I need to shit, or oops, I may shit. No, that's a different sensation altogether. This feels like I am constantly shitting. Like if you've ever taken acid or mushrooms and you go to take a piss, you know, and you're sitting there going, am I done? Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm done. Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Wait. Yes, I am. Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No. It's that the entire time. And I walk down the hallway and I get to the waiting room and my wife is there flipping through a magazine. And she pops up and she says, and I quote, "Do you want to get sushi?" No. No, I do not want to get sushi. I want to go home and take a rape shower. And speaking of taking a rape shower, I am starting to regret my vote for Trump. I know, you guys. I know. I was like you. It'll be fun. It'll be funny. Burn it down. Burn the Constitution down. There's a Twitter thing, Twitter site, whatever you call it, Twitter feed, right? Yeah, Twitter feed. I don't know. I'm not good at Twitter. I'm not, and I mean, I know enough. I know how to write something that will ruin my career. That I've got down. I know how to respond to people who say something negative about that post and make things even worse. I got that part down. But I don't know the fun. I truly don't know how they do the fun, you know, the photo funnies bullshit. You know, where they take photos and they put the memes and stuff. I don't know how that's done. I'm sure I'd like it more if I knew how to do that. You know, where there's like the picture of the ladies walking and the guys going hello, and then you know the girls going hey, you know, and then they put the funny words on them. You know, it's like I'm mustard, I'm a hot dog, I'm ketchup. You know, and like hilarious shit like that. I'd love to contribute. But anyway, so there's this Twitter thing, Twitter feed that I'm on that's called Trump Regrets or Trump Voter Regrets or something like that. And it's a compendium of whenever somebody writes that in their tweet, it sends it to this thing. And, you know, it's been going on. They've compiled thousands and thousands of them. You know, there's somebody posted a couple days ago, "Dear President Trump, I'm starting to regret my vote." What? Now? Now you're starting to regret. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I was fine in the beginning. I can overlook, and I'm okay with the blatant racism and the crass sexism and the deranged narcissism and pandering to Nazis and supporting pedophiles and proudly bragging about being a sexual predator and paying your mistress to have an abortion and openly cheating your employees and mocking the disabled and praising murderous dictators and the constant pathological lying, the petty vindictive cruelty, the staggering ineptitude, the unapologetic corruption, the nepotism, the mob ties, the calculated mendacity, ignorance as to how American government works, encouraging violence against those that question your authority, the theft of our tax dollars to pay off your mountain of debt and or vote golfing. Did I mention the relentless lying? You're a liar. Being a white nationalist, demonizing immigrants, the obvious disregard of the Bill of Rights, lying about whether Russia had hacked our election when you knew all along it had, then lying about it, the collusion with our sworn enemy and the sworn enemy of democracy, your dereliction of duty, your treasonous activities, and I was with you when you cheated. I was with you when you cheated on your wife with that porn star, the one you compared favorably to your daughter. You cheated on your wife, not the wife you raped, but the current wife who had just given birth to your son. And of course, I was with you when we found out you cheated with the Playboy Playmate, the one you compared favorably to your daughter. Not with the wife you have now, but the second wife whose kid you ignore. And of course, I was with you, President Trump, when you took the babies away. You took infants breastfeeding, literally breastfeeding from their mothers and fathers. People, families who had made this arduous trek to come here and seek asylum. They just wanted to seek asylum. And you took them and you deported the parents and you took them and separated them, sent the kids hundreds of miles away in a disused Walmart inside of a cage with armed guards pointing guns at them. And then, of course, thus ensuring the private prison contractors, Core Civic and Geo Group, who donated heavily to you, can get paid their collective $4 billion in profit. As those toddlers sob and whimper in absolute terror, traumatized for life. Of course I was with you with that. But this last omnibus spending bill is where I draw the line. I'm sorry, President Trump, but I'm a good Christian. I'm a good Christian, and I can't tolerate that last spending bill. I have to rewrite this thing almost daily, so I can't memorize it. This is new. This is a couple days old. The Core Civic and Geo Group found that out 3 days ago. And I wonder if there were any people in Germany in the early 40s who were like, I am really starting to regret my vote for Hitler. I mean, I was with them in the beginning, but come on. 6 million Jews? 1 million I could see. 2 million, okay, but sorry, 6 million. I'm sorry, Mr. Hitler, but I'm a good Christian. And I'm not comparing Trump voters to Nazis, okay? No, I'm not. I'm comparing Trump voters to the German people who voted for the Nazi Party. There's a difference. See if you can find it. I think about this world that we're giving to my daughter. I think about it daily. I think about it hourly. I've got a new kid. There's a sense of urgency now. And as admittedly cool and interesting as it's going to be for her in the future when she's older to be able to say, well, I lived in the prequel to The Handmaid's Tale. I just don't think it's a good trade-off. And, I do a lot of press for these shows, and there seems to be a general misconception that people have where people will be like, boy, I know Trump sucks, but he must be the gift that keeps on giving for a comic, huh? No. It's quite the opposite. For a couple reasons. One is there's no reveal, There's no, there's no joking made like, wow, look who turned out to be a real dick, The guy, he is who he is. He was always that person. He's always an awful, reprehensible, shitty con man. You can't make fun of you can't do a Trump bit, in other words, like that. I had a bit when he said the shithole countries thing. It was pretty good. He made a point. It was like 3 minutes long. And then, about 14 days later, people were like, what are you talking about? That happened 6 years ago, right? Because there's no permanence to it. Every awful, outrageous, egregious thing he says is supplanted within an hour by something even more awful, outrageous, and egregious. And making fun of Trump is like making fun of the way a kaleidoscope looks right now, It's pointless. There's no permanence to it. And I know there's a lot of speculation as to, how will Trump leave office? Will he serve out a full term, or will he be forced to resign in shame, or will he serve out 2 full terms, or 3 or 4 at the rate we're going? Or will he be arrested and sent to federal prison for treason, or will he die of a massive coronary on a golden toilet, or will he be assassinated by a group of caring nuns? Or will he succumb to the polonium laced tea? Or will he be ripped apart by 4 horses going in different directions in the town square, as long as we're going to keep going back to medieval days? Or will he be shot by a Nazi who travels through time to shoot Trump, going, you're making us look bad? Or Or will that time-traveling Nazi be thwarted by a time-traveling Richard Nixon who travels through time just past the Nazi so he can land there, so when the Nazi shows up, he can shoot the Nazi going, please, please, for my sake, let him live. Or will he die of third-degree burns and shrapnel when the polygraph machine explodes? Or will he die of a perforated colon when Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity and Piers Morgan and Devin Nunes and Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell and Paul Rand and all the Fox and pals all try to mount him simultaneously? We don't know. We don't know. We just don't know. And here's the thing. I'm an atheist, so I don't. All right. Whatevs. So I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in heaven or hell. Not that you have to be an atheist not to believe in heaven or hell, but it helps. I think that should be the atheist slogan. There's a little Jewish rabbi. You don't have to be an atheist not to believe in heaven or hell, but it helps. It'd be very confusing. But yeah, so I don't believe in hell, so I don't think that Donald Trump is going to burn in hell for all eternity for the crimes he's visited to America and other people. And I understand, I'm not denigrating the idea of heaven or hell. It's an awesome, it's a great concept. It's a wonderful concept, and I see its purpose. It allows people to feel good about what is, clearly since time immemorial, the injustice that happens in this world where people treat other people, their fellow human beings, just awfully, and you can say, well, this guy enriched himself and his family directly through the pain, suffering, and deaths of others, and lived this life of luxury, but will be punished in the afterlife, And then the inverse is true, of course. This person who was selfless and lived this impoverished life where they were just trying desperately to campaign for clean water in their village, and then they were arrested and tortured and raped and eventually killed by an assassin's bullet from the United Fruit Company or Monsanto or Union Carbide or Exxon or whoever the fuck it is. They live that kind of life, but they'll be rewarded in heaven. And it's a great concept, and I get why people, hundreds and hundreds of years ago believed in it before there was science and an understanding of how the Bible was actually written and came to be. And I get it. And those people were dumb, I mean, dumber than we are now. And we're dumb. We are dumb. We're a dumb species. We're so dumb. Mankind didn't even invent the sandwich until the 18th century. That's how dumb we are as a species. I mean, literally thousands of years of people going, there's got to be a better way,
That's just...
And, but anyway, yes, I'm saying it's a great idea, a great concept, and I wish, I just can't believe in it because, I'm not a child. So because I don't believe in hell, and I don't believe, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe he's going to go to jail. I think he's guilty. It's monumentally guilty, but I don't think he's going to go to jail because I think that is going to be part of the grand bargain that America will make with him because we'll be so psychically scarred after however many years of Trump we have, that we're just going to go just go away. We won't put you in jail. Just go the fuck away. Just go away. Leave us alone. Don't tweet. Don't talk. Don't appear on TV. Go away. Get out of here. And we won't put you. In fact, we got you an island. We got you your own island, and it's great. And everybody chipped in. Canada, Mexico, the EU. Everybody chipped in, and it's great. You're gonna love it, Donald. It is beautiful. You can do whatever you want there. Have as much Diet Coke and McDonald's and fuck other men's wives as you want. It's gonna be great. And we're gonna pay robots to tell you how awesome you are 24 hours a day. And everything's gold. It's all gold. Gold chairs and gold towels and golden showers. You are gonna love it. So up your alley. Just go, get the fuck away from us, take your shitty fucking criminal family with you, and get the fuck out and leave us alone. Let America become a decent place. So because I don't think he'll be punished, because I think he will get away with it, all I have really is this fantasy that I'm going to share with you, my Trump fantasy. And it's actually viable. We could make it happen. We could make it work if we wanted to. And for the sake of the rest of this bit, just for the next few minutes, I'm going to assume, and I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to assume that everyone in this building wants to get rid of Donald Trump as soon as humanly possible. So if that's the case, that means you have to vote for whoever the Democratic candidate is in 2020. A bitter pill to swallow, but you have to do it. I've done it myself, and it sucks because Democrats suck as well. They suck, but they're not evil. They're not fucking evil, and so you have to do that. And also, please don't pipe up in the middle and go, actually, David, I'm in the DSA, and we are going to nominate a used copy of Manufacturing Consent to be president. Because we think that'd be a better candidate than two corporate shills. All right, yeah, great. I'm in the DSA as well. I share your philosophies, but let's be realistic and let's take those little fantasies, put them in a Ziploc bag. We'll put them in the freezer. We'll get them out after 2020 when America becomes a viable place to live again, if you're not white. So, all the Democrats get together and secretly pick a candidate for President of the United States who's truly a badass motherfucker, like a true hard guy, a real, somebody who's very vocally anti-Trump, somebody, and again, an honest son of a bitch, tough motherfucker, and I'm suggesting Ron Perlman, all right? So Ron Perlman is the candidate for President of the United States. And, because we all learned in school, like through movies and TV shows and books, how to deal with a bully. We understand how to deal with a bully, and that's what Trump is. So we get this fucking badass motherfucker, tough guy, Ron Perlman. He runs for president, and then his vice presidential pick is the person we really want to be president, whoever that is, whether it's, Warren or Sanders, Harris, whoever the fuck it is. But for these purposes, the Democratic candidate is Ron Perlman. And then, because we've decided all this in advance, there's no campaigning, there's no canvassing, there's no focus group, there's no polling, there's no ad buyouts, there's not even a convention. And then we take the literally tens of billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars we'd save doing that, and we actually pay teachers a decent wage, and we feed kids who are hungry, and we help with the homeless, we help our veterans, and we take all the money that the Republicans took away and gave to themselves, and then we put it back and actually do some good with it, some social work, some socialistic work you might call it, and then we just wait for the debates, because that's what it's really about. We're just waiting for the debates, and then finally the big day comes. The big day comes. It's a debate live from the YMCA in Chinatown in Youngstown, Ohio. It's the whatever it is debates for the presidency, sponsored by the Daughters of the Confederacy and My Pillow. Now, please welcome to the stage, President of the United States, Donald Trump. Yes, I'm Donald Trump. I'm the greatest president that ever lived. I accomplished more in my first 9 days than all my predecessors combined. I invented water, and I can bend space and time. All right? Sounds good? And now here's the Democratic candidate for president, Ron Perlman. And Ron can wear his Hellboy outfit if he wants. It's fine. He wears Sons of Anarchy, doesn't matter. Whatever he wants. Hellboy, dress up, whatever the fuck he wants. And they're like, all right, Mr. Perlman, you have 5 minutes to respond. And he's like, oh, I don't need 5 minutes. And he goes over there, and he just fucking pops. He punches Trump. But he doesn't punch him this way. He punches him kind of down. So Trump just immediately crumples to the ground. And he pounding, pound, 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 pound. Pounding him. I don't know if you've seen Ron Perlman's fists. They're fucking huge. His hands are huge. One of his hands is like as big as 9 of my ass. Pound. And then Secret Service is like, holy shit, they come running up. But Ron Perlman has anticipated all this, so he's pre-greased himself. So he's like slipping away. But, boom! He's got steel-tip boots on. Boom! He's right in the paint. Boom! And then they separate him. But Mr. Perlman, stop that! Stop it! Go over there! And Trump's laying on the ground moaning. He's clearly shit himself. But the debates have to continue for democracy's sake. This is America, the great experiment. So Trump's team gets over, they lift him up, They take him back to the wings. They give him a quick wipe, a quick bump, get him back out there. I don't know, but that didn't hurt. Didn't hurt at all. Rotten Ronnie and his small hands. He has small hands, so it didn't really hurt. My hands are bigger than his hands. I got little Rubio hands, you know. And then, all right, Mr. Perlman, you have 5 minutes to respond. And no monkey business, okay? No monkey business. Yes, I get it. But again, Ron Perlman has anticipated all this stuff, so he's put thrusters into his shoes. So he's like, launches, he grabs it, he slams it on the ground, boom, boom, and he's fucking pounding away. And there's no give, there's nowhere for his back of his head to go. And his fist is going through him. It's like that scene in Irreversible. And he's just fucking pounding him. And Trump has just made a rotten, congealed, racist flesh. He's just so bits of a sopping ass.
Like that scene in
and then Secret Service like, holy shit, they get him. And they take him out like, stop it, Mr. Perlman. That's enough. That is enough. Go to the green room. You've upset a handful of people. Now stop it. And Trump's lying there, moaning, a bloody mess, just moaning, and barely conscious. But because it's my fantasy, I'm there. So I went up. Please, I'm a trained medic. I'm a trained EMT. I'm losing this guy. Losing this collar. I know how to resuscitate him. Yeah, this is good, huh, comrade? Yeah, you like this, comrade. You like this, comrade. Wake up. Oh, usually that works. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to need high pressure concern. 1, 2, 3, take. Sir, get up here. Unloose his mouth. Pull his tongue back. Clear a passageway. Clear it, goddammit! I know what I'm doing, and I've been doing it last night. Open up his fucking eyes! Nice release, Mr. Cross. Thank you very much.
Ooh.